Hi, welcome back to another video, and this one is a little bit more serious. It's got a little bit more of a undertone, and I have written a little bit of a script for it as well. And I just really wanted to share a little bit about my life and a bit about my experience of what I went through as Corinne, who is the main character in the Persephone myth. She is the innocent maiden who becomes Persephone through her forced entry into the underworld. And this myth, I feel like, is so misunderstood and misinterpreted in modern retellings. It's often about something more, it's just taken to be something more innocent and not for what it truly is. And that is essentially the essence of this video. And if you're currently watching this, then you're most likely going to keep watching if this resonates. And if it resonates with you, then you're most likely going through a dark night of the soul, which is a sort of a death of sorts. One which you cannot crawl away from. A grave so deep that you can only lie in it. And I was called to make this video to honor my own time in the underworld, and I hope for it to be a guide or a companion for you in your grief. So, this is my writing about eating the pomegranate seeds, about Persephone and my era as fairy queen of the underworld. So, I hope to bring you the brevity of wisdom to honor you in stillness. Honestly, I wrote that line partially as it was channeled to me. I don't even know what that word means. So I hope it resonates. And so, essentially, the beginnings of this video was found in this box of notebooks under my bed, which I actually wanted to share with you, if I can get it. Oh my god. Jesus. Okay, so there was just a bunch of notebooks and drawings and all of this stuff. I wanted to initially, as I was cleaning, throw them out. I could hardly bear to actually look at some of them. I even went as far as ripping one up, and it actually brought me a lot of relief. It alleviated the pain of looking at them. But then I realized that I'd been holding on to this pain for a reason. I was thinking, like, what am I gonna do with this if I can't give it away, but I don't want to hold on to this. I don't want to carry all this pain around with me. But I can't be unfaithful to myself. So I have to own these stories. And then I got the message to share about these things, not to destroy them, not to destroy the seeds without purpose and waste them, but to digest them and create balance. I needed to bring the skeleton up to the light. So I was led to the darkness through a cascade of life-altering events. I hadn't experienced extreme loss until I was 9, and I experienced loss of my sister. Until then, I was fairly innocent and naive. Then, gradually, everything fell. That was the start. And then things crumbled underfoot. And like Corinne in the myth of Persephone, I was there in the underworld. So many events in my life added to this. The loss of my sister, the loss of my closest friends and family, my home country, living in a neglectful and abusive home, immigration, the coldness of poverty, the suicide attempt, the breakup of a long-term relationship, health after relationship, after relationships, health struggles, the loss of a job, another home, identity, friend group. The list goes on, and I won't get into everything. But it has been a life within a life, within a life, within a life. And eventually I had to stop the running. Eventually I literally could do nothing except for sit in the dark, waiting. And it was different to giving up. It felt like giving up, but it was different to that. It was like surrendering. I later learned that this is the divine urge to surrender, to feel what you have repressed, to recalibrate, to allow life to live through you, to stop you, to keep you at a dignified snail's pace. Then acceptance arrived like grace. Acceptance of what was, what is. So I was there. Maybe that's where you are, dwelling in the underground, in the unconscious. Here I learned about myself. So many things were unearthed, so many tears cried, and I even met my own Hecate in the form of as a wonderful therapist. I won't name her. I just learned so much and was able to feel safe to feel some grief at this point. And it hasn't been a linear process. And, I've had many people who have helped me, and many signs along the way. Many goddesses, many spirits. Anyway, yes, I want to burn these pages. I want to burn all that heaviness. I want to relieve myself of it because now I can actually look at the pages. I can actually face them and see how far I've come. Like I've even forgot what some of those things were that had been written or had been lived through. And when I look at them, I see I was such a different person. The pages are so laden with fear. Ironically, the black books seem to be carrying the worst. And it's not to say, ironically, because, once you go black, ironically, it's not to say that I don't feel fear anymore, but I can face it. I'm better able to face these things, and there was never anything wrong with, the fall too. There was never anything wrong with feeling like I couldn't face it. And as I was writing this, it almost made me want to cry. So, yeah. I also had a recent experience that woke me up to want to write this. Like, my own boundaries were being violated, and I'd been allowing it out of nicety, out of scarcity, out of fear, really. Fear of the bigness of what I wanted. After all this, my boundaries were being violated. After all I'd gone through, people were taking from me. And I had too many things taken from me. And so I was going to take back what was mine. I was fueled by a fury, and stepping into that, allowing that to fill my body, to animate me, stepping into that power, it felt good. It felt scary, but good. I said no. I let the anger run through me, and it empowered me. And this is a poem I wrote about these violations. And it's not to say that I'm fully there yet. I glimpsed, and I'm glimpsing a new me. So this poem is something I wrote about these violations, called I Do Mind, actually. I thought that I didn't mind. Inch by inch you crossed the hazy lines. A slippery slope, I don't dare say that though I'm on my knees, I really do mind. I really do mind. So hold my head up and look in my furious eyes. The silent rage, unholy night after night. It's finally time to set me free. I thought I could love you, so I begged you to love me. But here I find again, time after time, that those heart doors which are closed are not mine to pry. My heart is on fire, my body ablaze. I thought that you loved me. Why'd they take you away? You crossed a line, you've crossed my lines. Now I'm not tongue-tied, and what's mine is mine. I really do mind. I really do mind. I really do mind. So I'm gonna speak my mind. My heart is ablaze. I'm sick and tired of this, line after line. So I'll take back what's mine, and you can miss me. Goodbye. Now, after all I've been through, after all the grief, comes a rage. 444. 144. The rage that anyone could think they could take from me. could think that they could disrespect me after all I've been through. It made me realize some things. Like, I can no longer go back to being the nice girl, the one who lets people walk all over her because they know I won't say anything. I can go back to that. Saying I don't mind when it's not true for me, I really do mind, actually. I'm expensive, okay? I'm done pretending to be a good girl or a good person. Like, what even is a good person? I don't know. I don't know one. What is a bad person? I don't know. Sure, there is strength in my kindness, but I also need to exhibit a different kind of strength. Like a strength of boundaries. Instead of making light when there is obviously dark that I can see, I can address the dark and just sit with it, observe it, mold it. I am more powerful than I once thought. I looked at myself in the mirror differently that night, and I saw a new emanation of myself appear. I can no longer live in fear. I need anger to clarify and refine my inner self and make manifest my desires. Because now I can see. I have the sacred sight. I know what people are hiding, what they don't feel, what they don't say. I see the darkness. And I'm not afraid like I was before. I see the darkness where they speak lies. I can peer beyond the veil of illusion with my deepened eyes, with my deepened gifts of clairsentience. I can feel so deeply, down to the bone, down to my bones, and therefore yours. So I want you as an exercise. I want you to make a list of all the things that you can no longer do because of this new self-respect. Because you've discovered the core of who you are. And here are a few things that I can no longer go back to as I return to the world, and I can no longer hide. I can no longer pretend that it's okay for people to talk over me, walk over me, be disinterested in what I have to say. I can no longer entertain people's complaining or gossiping or like just small talk, garbage, small talk. I can no longer pretend that I don't see people's grief or sadness. Like, I can just state it, like, oh, you want to talk about that? Okay. No, that's okay. Okay. I'm here when you want to. Or like, yeah, they want to. And then I'm like, okay, that's enough. I'm not your dumping ground. Like, I can no longer pretend it's okay for people to take my stuff and use it without asking. I can no longer people please in order to convince people to like me. Like, it's a privilege. Like, it's a fucking privilege. Like, people are lucky. I can no longer use humor to deflect, like, blatant disrespect. Like, silence. My silence is a million words. Like, did you really just go there? Did you really just say that? Like, what? 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 Just because I thought I liked you doesn't mean that you can now say this to me. Anyway, yes, I'm in that era. I'm in my fairy queen of the underworld Persephone era. So, yeah, I must honor my true feelings. Okay? I'm not at all the person I used to be. I used to think that that's what people needed from me, people wanted from me, how to buy their love, attention, affection, approval. But look, I just sat with myself alone in the dark for like how long? I can rely on myself. Like, I used to think they wanted all that from me, the person I used to be, but that person was not whole. That was not all of me. And now it can be both. And most of all, I can bring stillness, deep sight, and wisdom. As I return to the world, and I will not get rid of the darkness I went through. Like all these journals, I will respect them. And one day soon, I will be so far beyond them, you will not even be able to tell that is what I once knew. With the ability to ignite the hearts of others, my own heart fire blazes, and there is beauty in profound darkness. Not in shame, not in closedness, but in the wetness of tears and fury, which harvest the earth. You, as part of the earth, prepare it for what is coming, and you prepare others. You're becoming this divine light, divine living testament of the will of the divine feminine power of surrender. You become the will of the heart. You feel of the earth, the heart, the earth, the hearth. You feel the Divine Mother moving through you, supporting you through this as you die. The old version of you is given to the earth, and so is the start of new life. The seeds planted to give you second sight. A new light burns through you, and you can no longer be the you who lived before the night. But now you see through it all. You see through the night. You walk through the darkness. That is your gift. You've been crowned by the night, crowned with sovereignty, crowned with the seed of peace, to meet others at their depths if that is where they are ready to be, and if they're lucky enough to meet you while they are there. This is spiritual maturity, and it demands respect, first and foremost from yourself, because you now require depth from others. Others feel so seen in your presence. It is telling of their character, how they deal with that. You may try, but you can no longer go back to being the old, now decomposed persona. You've taken the mask off and it no longer fits. Forgive me, Mother. Forgive me, Father. For I am no longer who you thought. And this version of you cannot hide. It demands respect, and you will find it first within yourself as a new purpose, as a new self-compassion, as a new meaning. Allow this old self to wither on the vine. Allow this old self to crumble. Allow your inner fire to burn it away. Burn it to embers, one day to be ablaze. You cannot go back. People may not understand your new need for depth. Those who live in the light may not see this darkness as a gift, but you have learned to honor and respect it. Because with this depth, you have new life. With your roots deep in the underworld, you can bring the steadiness required for new life. We are born in the darkness of the womb. We will return to it again in death. You have the power to be a guide to others if they so wish, if they will it, desire it. So own your path. You are not alone. Okay, this song used to give me so much comfort when I was just graduating high school. I was 16 when I graduated. I was so much younger. I felt like the odd man out. Oh my god, I want this to be in. Here we go. Let's go. If you know, then you know. Comment down below. Thank you. Walk in peace, my friend.